Hey guys, welcome back. Ever wanted to do a much larger embroidery but thought it was never possible? Well, today we're going to show you just how we managed to get such a large embroidery on this tablecloth, so stick around. Alrighty, before getting started, I just want to take a minute to mention if you happen to have any questions whatsoever throughout the video, just make sure to drop any of those questions down in the comment section below. And while you're at it, make sure to thumbs up the video. So when it comes to embroidering larger designs, what you will need is what we have here, which is a sash frame. This is an optional accessory that we have for our TC series machines. And what it is, it's basically a frame that has the dimensions of 48 by 14, which actually happens to be the largest sewing field area in the industry. And so with such a large area, you're actually able to embroider bigger items such as blankets, a banner, a flag, tablecloths. You can even use it for larger orders of multiple patches all being done in one run. So today we're going to show you just how we utilize it to actually go ahead and embroider on the side of a tablecloth. So to get started, the first thing that we're going to have to cover is the actual framing of the sash frame. So when it comes to framing, it's going to be basically the same way that you would frame a regular hoop, just with a few minor differences, but you still are going to have to utilize your proper backing. And so today we have here our cutaway, and we've already pre-cut it to actually fit our frame. And so just like a regular hoop, you're going to want to make sure that it basically covers the entire frame itself and you have extra space around it. So that's already set in place, and now I'm going to go ahead and grab our tablecloth and the clamps that we're going to use to actually lock down the piece into place. All right, so we have our cutaway laid out, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place our tablecloth on top. Now, one thing I should mention while I'm here is that it's going to be much easier framing this on a separate table as we're doing here, or if you don't have a table, perhaps maybe just a nice open area on the floor, because if you try to do it on the table that comes with it, it's going to be much harder. And so with this tablecloth, I actually get to use the foldings as my visualization to get it centered. So you can see with one person it may be a little bit more difficult, but it's still possible. And so once we have it in position where we want it, this is when we're going to come and start placing the clamps to hold it in place. So to get started with actually clamping down your garment, you're going to want to make sure that you grab the proper clamp first. And so just make sure that you grab the shorter one. There are two different sizes, and there's only two of the short ones, one for each end. And that's where you're actually going to want to start, on the ends of the frame. When clamping it in, you want to make sure that you have this tab that comes out facing yourself, and then just go ahead and clamp onto the rail with a bit of pressure. As far as removing it, you're going to use that same tab with just both of your thumbs and pull it off. Now, for sometimes it's a bit difficult because there's too much pressure, so what you can do is take a regular flathead and just pry it off, and that will make it much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and just clamp it onto this side. And now that I'm done here, the next step that I'm going to do is make sure that I clamp it on the other end. So as I come over to this side to place the second clamp, you want to make sure that you have it nice and smooth, and basically making sure that you get it as flat as possible, giving it a pull so that it's being clamped on with a lot of tension. So after this is done, next is going to come the clamps that go on the side. Now when it comes to the ones on the side, there is an order that you want to follow. You want to make sure that we start off with either side, left or right, but then you keep alternating from side to side to make sure that you continue to keep the tension throughout the entire garment. So now I'm going to go ahead and place my first clamp on the side. And so remember to keep the tab facing yourself. And as I place it in with pressure, once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead to the other side and make sure that I fully flatten out the garment, and then clamp my piece. And so you want to repeat this process going back and forth until you've completed the entire frame. Alrighty, so I've gone ahead and finished framing the entire tablecloth. And as you can see, what I've also done is that I rolled up the excess of the tablecloth on this end and just pinched it with binder clips. And the reason why I did that is because if I flip this over, you'll realize that I've actually framed it with the side that's going to go towards the back of the machine with the excess on that side. So that's why I had to roll it up and pinch it. You could alternatively actually frame it the other way around. Just keep in mind that when you do so, you're gonna have to actually flip your design upside down so that when you drape your actual tablecloth, it appears right side up. All right, so before I go ahead and actually place the frame onto the machine, a few things that I wanted to mention is that apart from the sash frame, what also comes along with it is the larger pantograph. If you haven't already noticed, it's much wider to be able to accommodate for the larger sash frame, as well as the table that will help support the entire sash frame. Now, as far as the setup goes with swapping out the pantograph and installing the table, if that's something that you'd like to see, just drop a comment down in the section below, and if we get enough requests, then we'll make sure to actually go ahead and shoot that video for you guys. So when it comes to slotting the actual frame on the pantograph, when it comes to the larger pantograph of the sash frame, you're just going to utilize the first two slots. So basically the most outer slots on the left side, and then same thing on the right side, the two slots most outer to the end. And so it's just slotting it into place and then just screwing it in. Once we have them screwed in, we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So when it comes to setting up design set for this border, when we go into design set, first thing is you're going to want to make sure that you have selected the proper hoop. And so we're going to come in here, and for the sash frame, you already have it set up with the G frame. That's the preset for the sash frame here. Besides the frame, you're also going to want to make sure that if for any chance you happen to have framed it upside down and are actually going to have the tablecloth hanging over, then you're going to want to make sure to also flip the orientation of your design 180 degrees. Now, since we've hooped it right side up, I'm going to go ahead and keep it just as it is. Once you've modified your changes, just make sure to go ahead and hit OK to import those changes. So since we've already done that, there's no need for me. I can just go ahead and hit escape. And now from this point forward, everything else is pretty much the same, just as your regular hoop. You go ahead and choose your color order. Make sure that you set the proper speed. For the sash frame, the recommended maximum speed is 700 stitches per minute. And for that reason, you're going to want to make sure that if you're going to do something this big, you give yourself some leisure time, maybe go grab a book or go ahead and prepare dinner, because a large embroidery such as this one will take a very long time. The one that we have here has an estimated finish time of about 4 hours. So that's just something that you can take into consideration. And that's pretty much it. I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button below and subscribe to our channel. I also want to invite you to our Facebook group where you can ask questions and share knowledge. You'll find the links I mentioned in the description below. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here next time. And so, let's stop. Before getting started, I just want to mention, if you have, are you recording already?
Yeah.
Is an optional piece that comes with, oh no, it does not come with. So the way that's going to be, it's going to be basically the same way. No, I don't like it. I said it's going to be twice.
Use it.
Oh, look.